Hi guys, Paul Bartels here again. Got a three-part video coming up, and this is going to be showing you how to fit a John East preamp into a bass. I've got a Zoot bass, custom bass, and it's given me a problem. It's got a fault on it. It has a very loud click randomly. It sounds like a capacitor discharge or something like that, and it needs to be sorted out. Let's see what you get in the box. It's marked up as U Retro 01 Deluxe, but actually it is the Uni Pre. Got a handwritten compliment slip from John himself, so that's really nice. Nice lot of packaging. A set of chrome knobs. There are other choices when you order it. Looks like some detailed instructions there for everything, and all the electronics. This is the only bit that's separate, and that obviously gets plugged in. That's the mid. All the rest is connected at the moment, so to put it in, might have to disconnect some of that to route it through, but we'll see what happens. Lots of push-in connectors by the look of it, and some screw terminals as well. So we've got a total of 13-page instructions of how to fit it. First thing we've got to do here is get out all the old electronics. I've already taken off the pickups because in the instructions it recommends that you do a test first before you fit all electronics, just to make sure everything's working, so that if there is a fault you can find it early. So that's why those are out. So there's the Aguirre OBP3 preamp, so that's going to come out. I've got to find the battery wires, get those off. I'm just going to cut them for now. I'm probably going to replace the battery clip anyway. I've got two batteries in here, one's for some LEDs, so I'm just going to make sure I don't cut that one by mistake. Take out the socket. Let's turn it over and undo the pots from the other side. I've worked out where I want to put all the controls. I'm going to base on the arrangement on an overwater that I play already and try and get it similar to that, so it's just easier to transfer from bass to bass. So this is going to be the treble and bass stacking pot. You're going to have the volume here, blend, passive tone, and the mid. Now at the moment I've got two switches in here. One's for the LEDs and one was part of the old electronics. It's going to be a very tight, it's going to be a very tight fit in here. I think what I'm going to have to do is take the switches out just for a minute to work out how I can get this lot in and then we'll see what happens. So it did take about an hour to finally get the arrangement I really liked, somewhere where the cables weren't being strained and it felt that it fitted in without the units being too close. The next process was to take it all out and to solder stuff in. What you don't see here is that I subsequently went back and lined the pickup cavities with copper foil tape. So I'm extending a lot of my wires instead of going straight to where they need to be. So when this is in, a lot of the wires going here, the pickups are going to go here, and wires from the jack, things like that. So instead of going straight across from the pickups and just leaving the wires, I'm going to route them around the outside. I'm going to do the same with the battery connections. They're going to go around to the jack. Instead of going straight there, they will go round like that. And the idea behind that, as well as obviously looking very neat, it's easier to find if you have to take it apart subsequently. If you're finding faults, it's easier to see what's going on, and you've got room to manoeuvre. So if the jack socket needs to come out, instead of having to unsolder it, you've got the freedom to actually then move that amount of wire out somewhere. And the same with the pickups. If this module had to come out for some reason, if it was tight on there, it would be awkward to lift that out separately. But if the wires are routed around the outside before they go to it, you've got that extra freedom to be able to lift certain things out. So I've got to do just a tiny extension on the pickups, which are the black and white ones. I've already done the battery, and if I just take that out, the one that I did previously was the LED ones around here. That's all in place at the moment. I've already wired up my socket. I'm going to use a slightly different one to the one that was supplied, just because it goes through the body and it needs to be longer. So I've already soldered on the wires that I need, and again they're longer than you would need. So that one's going to go around the outside and pick up on that point there, which is going to be my grounding point. These two are going to go around and go in approximately where the pickups are going to end up, which is all about here when that module goes in, about halfway through. The black from the battery is going to go onto the ring of the jack socket. I've already put in place the orange, which is going on the tip, and that goes to the circuit board. One of the greens, which is on the screen sleeve, and that's going to the circuit board, and the other green is going to the grounding point. So here's the green from the socket. It's going to come round the side of the cavity and go on to the point here, which is my common grounding point. so just got to cut its size. The masking tape's just holding wires out the way. So the cavity is just about ready now. So I've got all the wires coming around the outside, pickup wires going around this side, and they're all going to come from the socket and the power from the battery, all going to come into about the same place. The mid pot's going to go quite close to the copper foil outside, so I'm just going to put a bit of tape on the back. As I fitted each pot in turn, I tightened them up through the cavity and then connected them to the other units as I went along. Then all that was left was a bit of tidying up, getting the wires in nice and neatly, and having a look at the whole project. So all in all, it was a very easy install, even though it looks quite complicated. The actual process of connecting things and putting it in was okay. The problem I had was the cavity was so small that it did require a lot of trial and error to get them to fit really neatly. In a larger cavity, it would be a much easier project. And on a final note, the customer service at John East is absolutely superb. I had occasion to contact him and phone him up a couple of times, and I always got a great service from him.